Imperial University.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Future Talk. Our guest today is a young woman whose dreams came in many sizes, too big and still managed to grow into them. With her strong drive, she has accomplished to become a prominent member in the education industry. She has endured a lot of criticisms and dark moments, always daring to dream big and encouraging others to do the same. Our guest today is Mapopoji. Welcome to our show. So Mapo, since I know that you have been through such a long journey in the education industry, so I believe that you have many stories to share. So before we go deep, can you please describe yourself in 1 minute about, who you are, what you do, and how you did it?
So if I have a chance to share you a little bit about me, who I am, I'm just a woman with a very bright dreams and who dares to dream. So I started with my Imperial University when I was like 18 years old, and then after that, I committed myself into my hard work, my passions, and the resilience to make sure that my dreams can come true. When I was like 18 years old, I've got nothing but a passion and a dream. So at the time, I devoted myself that with the right amount of hard work, I would be able to achieve my dreams and then make my dreams transform into reality. So this is a little bit about me. So this is who I am now, and I am an artist, a painter, a lecturer, a professor, a family member who love my family so much, and just a woman who love pets so much. I love dogs and puppies. Yeah, this is who I am.
Very interesting. So, so I understand that. I understand now. So, like you have been working under so many different titles, such as you mentioned before, like entrepreneur, founder, managing directors, a businesswoman. So, which title suits you the best?
Yes, I wear a lot of different hats. Like sometimes I become a very good teacher. I think I'm very good.
Yeah,
I am not
teacher as
sure about what my students are thinking. So I'm a very good teacher. Sometimes I become a women entrepreneur, a businesswoman who dare to take risk and then trying very hard to achieve whatever I want to achieve in real life. And sometimes I am just a family members, and then sometimes I am a wife who loves my husband so much. So I have different hats, but the reality is that deep down, the different hat, the most important part is my heart and soul. I only have one heart and my one soul, but that heart and soul allow me to wear different hats, and I am very happy for who I am. And I am suited with all the hats that I'm wearing at the moment.
I see. So how do you balance? What I'm curious about is how do you balance between, there are a lot of hats, because a lot of the young generations, people feel like, the titles oriented. I'll be the number one in the company, like CEO, managing director, founder. They're really, not about the passion, but they are really into the titles. So you have a lot of big titles, and as well as the teacher as well with the kind-hearted. So like, how do you balance between those things?
The best way to balance the life and the work and the different titles is just to follow your dreams, and then just to believe in yourself, and just to make sure you are visible, and that you are physically and mentally there. You are physically and mentally there for what you are doing at the moment. That's the best way to balance. Because sometimes I've been facing a lot of young people and people who are there but not physically, who are physically there but not mentally.
Yes.
So that is very difficult to balance their emotional feelings and boundaries, because sometimes I am here but my physical body is here, but my emotions are not here. So it's very difficult to balance. So my best recommendation to balance the life and the passions and wearing different hats is to make sure that you are there physically and mentally. That's it. So once you are there, you know, your physical body and your emotional spirit is there. So I think you don't need to balance yourself. You love what you are doing. So is this a way to balance your life?
I see your energy
Yeah.
there. Yeah, that's great. That's a very interesting and good note. So I'm desperately would like to know one thing. So the education thing is you are really into the education. Yeah, I know that, but not for the many others. You know the so. What made you to choose this part, the education? Because education is not the most popular topic for a lot of people. Because you know that when we're young, we like to try to skip the class. We like to go away from the class. Education is not most of the people's dream, but yours. So yeah, I like to know about that.
I think I become to realize the real meanings and real philosophy of education that makes me believe in education, and also to believe that education can give me wings to fly. So starting from that, before that, you know, since I was like a grade 2, 3, 4, 5 until like grade 10, I used to be a very normal kid. I don't love to read. I don't like to remember things and writing everything in detail in examination or stuff like that. But after I started my university life, I become to realize it's not all about the content. It's also about the concept, the method. How can I say? It's all about like training your mind and so to think the best way for your life. So after that, I began to realize that education is the only channel that I can make my dreams come true. So I devoted myself into achieving the right education. At the same time, I do make sure that I can provide the best quality education to my students. So since I began to realize that education can give me wings to fly, I started to believe 100% believe in education, and I committed myself in pursuing the right education.
Oh, yeah. That's a great, you know, the dream and those kind of things. Okay, yeah. So I believe that there are a lot of ups and downs in your 15 years plus journey. So what was the darkest moment and how did you overcome that?
Since I'm a women entrepreneurs, I've been facing a lot of obstacles and difficulties along the long journey. As you mentioned, it's a very, very difficult and challenging journey, and a lot of commitments are needed, and a lot of hard work and a lot of resilience, because most of the time I've been surrounded with a lot of comments and judgment that I am not capable of doing this, and I am in the Myanmar culture, so. In Myanmar culture, women are not supposed to walk like that, and then we are supposed to work in the kitchens and doing all the house chores or stuff like that. So it's quite a challenging journey for me though, but I did it and I'm very proud of that. From my darkest moment, there's several darkest moments. So if I tend to choose one, I don't know which one to choose because there are several. But one of my darkest moments is when I lost my baby when he was 5 months in my belly. So it was my darkest moment, and I didn't expect that. But after that, I began to realize life is very fragile, and then the chance of living in this world is very blessed. It's a very, very good blessing. So starting from that, I've been committed myself to creating positive contribution for me and my baby, and then I start to encourage the youth that having a life is very, very difficult, and then I just want them to use the best out of it. So my darkest moment gonna be my personal darkest moment, but it gave me a lot of thoughts to think, and then it reflects me the real meaning of life. And then, to be honest, we don't really value our life that much. But after that, I become to realize having a life, having a chance to live in that kind of living is very, very difficult. So we should try our best to create the best moment out of it. And then that is the darkest moment. And you know, it gives me a lot of thoughts and lessons and give me energy to create a lot of positive contribution than before.
That's why you become more humble.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
Yes.
More humble. Okay, yeah, that's great. So my another question is like, you know, you mentioned a lot about dreams. You encourage people to dream big. You really believe in dreaming big. So why is that? And how does it suppose to your, you know, success?
I am a huge fan of dreams. Whenever I have a chance to talk about dreams, my eyes are sparkling and my energies are there because dreams, it is like my best friends, and dream is also my navigator. And then dreams can give me a lot of energy, and because without a dream, there is
Yes.
no belief that we have in pursuing our success. So having a dream gives me 100% support to achieve all the success that I'm having at the moment. Another thing is, if you don't believe in your dream, who else will come and believe in yours? So my best philosophy is to believe in my dreams with 100% of belief, and then put all the hard work, and then make sure that I can be able to achieve,
Yes.
and that I can transform the dreams into reality, so that I can tell the people that I am capable of doing this. So I am a huge fan of dreams.
I see. Everybody should have dream. I'm also the big fan of dream. Yes, dream big and achieve it.
But
Yes.
people told me that dreaming is very easy. Yes, dreaming, having a dream is the easiest part. But creating and transforming the dream into the reality is the most tough and difficult
Yes.
task. But once you already have your dream, the next job is to make sure that your dreams come through into reality. So, yeah.
I see. So let me bring you back to the past 15 years ago, before you started the journey at the beginning stage. So at that time, did you realize that one day, did you already see in your dreams so many times, like one day you'll become a woman who inspires a lot of, the young people, and you'll be in the, the one and the only in the education industry?
I don't. At the time, I was just a girl, a woman, very young woman. At the time, I didn't have that kind of desire that I'm gonna be the best in the education sector. I'm gonna be having a high quality education. So I will be graduating from Oxford or stuff like that. But at the time, I only believed and I committed to myself that I'm gonna end up like someone great. And then I'm gonna be doing all the good work for the society that I'm gonna be living in, and then I would like to create a lot of good things for my family. That's the beginnings of a young woman. And after that, I committed myself. And then when I was like 18 years old, I didn't know that I'm gonna be anything like this one.
Yes.
But I have 100% belief in myself that I'm gonna be something useful for my society, very positive change agents for youth. That's as simple as it is. And yes.
So can you tell me more about your transformation process by personal transformation? I mean, like the physical, mental, and spiritual development and the transformation. Because when I ask these questions, people only see about the physical transformation because it is obvious. So like transform the physical appearance and those kind of things. But I would like to more focus on the mental and the spiritual part. So did you transform and your process?
Oh, I did transform a lot. When I was like only 18 years old, I only focus on things that I want to do. That's it. I don't care that much about people. I don't listen to what people are saying. But when I was like 25 years old, I became to realize that the life is not only about me and myself. It's also about the other. So around 25 years old, I become to focus much more on the broader basis of the society, and then what kind of value can I create for my society. That kind of thinking, I think a big transformation for my life, especially from the spiritual perspective. When I was like 35 years old, my transformation become totally different. I become a totally different person. And then when I recall back my childhood, I have done several mistakes, and then I don't feel any sorry for that. But when I was like 35 years old, I become to realize that life should be some lessons, and then there should be some meaning. And then what is the meaning of my life? What is the meaning of me living in the earth? Belong to the other people. So my transformations of spiritual perspective and then conceptual thinking become much more complicated than before. And then after that, I become to realize that, as I told you before, I lost my baby when he was 5 months old in my belly. So I become to realize every day, because when I was 18 years old and 20 years old, all I think about is tomorrow, not today or not the past. But after that, I become to realize that we also live our today's moment heavily, and that we also make sure that the moments of today can create some valuable moments for our life and for the others. So here I am, my spiritual thinking and then transformation parts become completely different. I become to think much more about the other people, and then the feelings and their futures, and then about my country and my nations or stuff like that. And when you become older, like more than 30 years old, your responsibility gonna be there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of commitment, responsibility, and contribution. So I think my spiritual parts being transformed the most in last 10 years.
Oh, this is the very interesting and very good notes for the today's generation, yeah, young people. So I'm also interested about your transformation process of your business as well. So let's say like the ideas, right? You mentioned about the ideas. So everyone has dream and the ideas, but the thing is that the dreaming and the idea generation part is easy. Okay, I should do that. I should do this, and then they won't. So the thing is that when the startup part, for the idea to the startup, it's difficult. And it's even more difficult to the startup to the scaling up,
Yes,
and
definitely.
also scaling up to the dominate the sectors, like your Myanmar in Imperial University, MIU. So like how did you transform that kind of process? It's a long journey. So
Yeah, during the very long journey, the most important aspect to make sure that your dream come true into the reality is all about your passion. And then another thing is you need to be very, very brave. You need to be brave enough to make things come true. And then you need to be brave enough to compete with the others and then challenge the others that, oh, I am capable of doing this, wait and watch, or stuff like that. And then when I started my Imperial University, my company name is called Life Education Center. At the time, I only have around such a thing. So it's like around 2,000 US dollar. So it's very difficult for me to start that kind of dream because my dream's becoming very big. So my suggestion for the next generation is we need to have a very, very big dream, but start with a small one first. And then make sure that consistency is there, your hard work is there, and then you also have to be very patient. Because for my dreams, it took me around like 18 years to bring that into reality. So that with that kind of hard work and commitment and persistence and resilience, I think everyone can make their dreams come true. But another important aspect that we need to consider is not to pay too much attention to what the others are saying, because they don't know you at all. So they're gonna be judging you,
Criticize you.
criticize you, and then they're gonna be saying this and saying that. But you know who you are. So instead of listening to the others, I strongly recommend and encourage the youth and my next generation to listen to our inner sides of who we are. What do we want? What can we do? And then we cannot put ourselves into our comfort zone. So putting yourself in the comfort zone is the most dangerous part. Taking not the risk is the biggest risk that you are taking at the moment. So I strongly suggest the next generation to take all the risks. Use all of the hard work that you have had in your heart and soul and your body, and then try to focus in your future and not the others. Yes.
Oh yes, what a huge commitment. So your dream is like 18 years. You build the dreams for 18
It's
years.
a very,
Huge
very
commitment.
long journey.
That's-
I cry a lot.
That's exactly what the today's generation people they have to listen, because most of the time I feel like they see things like they don't patient at all. So like they try for let's say 6 months and then it doesn't work for me.
Yes.
Maybe I switch, I change. So you're 18 years. You're living proof of okay, the dream's big and step by step you move forward.
The three very great success recipe for transforming the dreams into reality is the hard work, and then patience, and the resilience. If you have those three DNA in your body, you can be able to make your dreams come true. Yeah. And good news is you can create all your own DNA in your heart and your soul. If your DNA is not automatically
Born with that.
yes, we can create it.
Yeah, we can create it. Okay. So my next question is about your education service. So people think like a good quality education service is expensive. So like they feel like, oh, it is only for the luxury thing for the rich people, not for us, not for the ordinary average people. They feel like that. So how would you like to respond to that?
I founded Myanmar Imperial University not only for the rich people, but also for my society, the society that I do love very much, because I am a huge believer of the philosophy stating that education belongs to everyone, and everyone deserves a good education. It is one of the main reasons that I founded Myanmar Imperial University with my heart and soul. So with that kind of passions, it's a very, very long journey. We are the education business sector, so of course we need to make money, but at the same time, we also would like to create positive contribution for my society. With the purpose, we also have a category called Founder Scholarship, and we provide a lot of scholarship for women's, youth, and then men's and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So we also have that kind of Founder Scholarship schemes and then bursary things. With the people thought that my university is very expensive. I don't know why, but if you come and visit my university, once you listened and once you heard and once you come to understand about the school fees, you will come to realize that our school fees are much more reasonable than the others, because we have a high number of students.
Yes.
And then we are providing that kind of great facility, because my students, they deserve that kind of facility. And then one of the dreams that I've ever been dreaming of is I just want the people around the world to realize that we in Myanmar have that kind of institution, that kind of institution providing great facility, great quality of education, and great network and great contribution for the society. So you're right that our educational service fees is quite expensive if we compare to the government university. So what we have done so far at the moment, we also have an executive diploma program, and then the school fee is around $2,500. But the management, we still think that is quite expensive for the other people. So yes, we decided to provide bursary for everyone. So the school fees become $1,800 only. And after that, we also work with ARA Bank, and then we have a very, very strong relationship between Myanmar Imperial University and ARA Bank. So the bank and the university, we have the same purpose of providing great contribution and equal chance to everyone. So with the support from ARE Bank, the student, they only need to pay $150 per month only for a year. So
There shouldn't be any excuse.
Yes, so it means that if there is a way, there should be a way.
Yeah.
In addition to that, if you are not comfortable, or if you cannot be able to pay that kind of school fees, you can apply for scholarship. So there's a several way that we can grab the opportunities. At the same time, we also have another social media channel called MIU Classroom from Dreams. We don't need to pay any penny for that kind of classroom. So with that social media channel, we are providing quality education, something like management tips, marketing tips, and how to write a resume, or how to, different tips about management and marketing. So there's a variety of channels that the university is creating positive contribution. So I think if there's a way, there should be a way. Please don't hesitate to come and visit my university. You are always welcome, and that we're gonna be exploring the opportunities and chances for your dreams to make come true. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Now I understand more about your university.
Yes.
And
So
everyone's...
it's not only about rich people, or it's not only about luxury education. It's also about creating a very positive community, society, and then
we really need that kind of facilities in the university in Myanmar.
to believe that every business needs to have three different values. One value is for people value, of course, but because of the university, the people, the students, they need to have the best value, having a quality of education.
What is your definition of success in your life?
My definition of success is dream, success. Imperial University အိမ်မက်ပါအိမ်မက်များကိုယုံကြည်ပါအိမ်မက်များကိုအကောင့်ထည့်ဖို့ပါ